Hello everyone, I'm Emily,
And I'm Hannah.
and we are the hosts of the I Don't Think So podcast. Each episode we discuss a different story, theory, or mystery and decide if we think it's believable or if we really don't think so.
Here at the I Don't Think So podcast, we are affiliated with Flurry Sports, and we present our different stories, theories, and mysteries each Wednesday. If you like what you hear, definitely rate our show, leave a comment, follow us on our socials at I Don't Think So _EH.
Woohoo! And also check out our YouTube at IDTS Conspiracies.
Excellent.
But welcome to November!
November. We're going to be leaning into that stories portion.
We are leaning into that story. So this month we have decided we're going to do kind of some Reddit stories, Reddit posts, all things Reddit. You know, I occasionally peruse Reddit, but it's not definitely my go-to.
My favorite is when you're trying to Google something and like the Reddit thread pops up and then you just get to like deep dive on it. We had one this last weekend on Maddie Ziegler's teeth. And then had some friends over and we were like deep into it.
So no really rhyme, reason, or theme to the ones that I pulled today. Some of the stories. I did pull all of these from Best of Redditor updates because, like I said to Hannah, I like the updates. I like knowing more. Nothing drives me more nuts than when I find a story that's like, they posted it like an hour ago and I'm like, tell me what happened!
I need the details. It's like a TikTok series or something and you're only like 3 parts in and you're like, what the fuck? I need to know how this ends.
Like, top story, boy, let's move.
I've been deep into watching Judge Judy episodes on TikTok, and they only upload like 2-minute segments, or not even 2-minute sections every like half day. So it takes you days to like get the full episode. But there's the cliffhangers they leave you on is wild.
Like, no!
This morning I was watching one about this woman who has a pit bull, and their neighbor was like walking her little chihuahua. And she lied about the pit bull being on a chain, and then the pit bull ended up going and attacking the chihuahua. Oh. And there's like police body camera footage of her taking accountability, and she's like, "I never did that." And it's like, don't gaslight Judge Judy. She's not gonna fall for that shit.
Judge Judy knows.
She's like, "Ma'am, you literally
you're in this. Is this not you in this video?
In this video, you said I'm going to pay for the vet bills, judgment for the plaintiff, and the amount of blah 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 blah." Boom, and I'm like, That's my judge. Is everything.
Judge Judy is my judge. I love her.
I love her too.
So this first story technically is still ongoing. However, it is a long story, so buckle in with multiple updates. I'll stop in between updates. I can read some comments and things like that.
Love it.
This is Am I the Asshole?
Yes.
For refusing to go to confession so I can take communion at my brother's wedding.
Now, this is too close to home.
We're talking Catholics.
Okay, before we can even get into this, I just think it's a weird thing for Catholics to require people to go to confession to take communion. Mm-hmm. So that's my 2 cents before we start.
Yeah, same. We grew up Catholic.
Yeah,
because it's like unless you go every week.
You shouldn't be taking communion.
You're supposed to do confession. Let me tell you this right here, right now. I haven't done confession since I was like 14.
Yeah, I don't think I've done one since
you got confirmed.
I feel like I might have done one like after I got confirmed. I think we did it before we graduated high school for whatever reason. They like hosted a confession night for the graduates or something. I graduated with a woman who ran its son. So she's like, all of our graduates need to have confession before they move on with their lives and be blessed through graduation. So I think the last time I did it, I was a senior in high school.
I didn't even do it for confirmation.
That's wild.
I haven't done it in a long time. I miss church, and I went this weekend and I marched my happy ass around. 31 female, have 3 siblings, 40 male, 38 female, and 27 male. And we have had good relationships despite the age gaps between some of us. My older siblings are both married, and so am I. The wedding in question is my younger brother's, 27 male. My younger brother, Luke, is engaged to his girlfriend of a year, Emma, who's 28. She is nice, I guess, but we have never really clicked and are just polite to each other. Something important is that we are all Catholic, but not really hardcore ones, and some of us are even lapsed. I do believe that this whole situation started just when I met her for the first time. I look younger than Luke, and it has always been a sibling joke that I am truly the baby of the family. Most people that meet us assume he is older than me, but nobody has had issues with it until Emma. The day I met her, she kind of scoffed when I said I was happy the baby had a proper girlfriend. She said this weird thing about being the eldest in her family and refused to believe that I was older than her until I would show her my ID.
That's weird.
Yeah, no shit. She has been hot and cold with me since then, often infantilizing me or trying to have a sort of boss attitude. I just let her be and usually ignore her since I have no time to try and beg for her friendship. So I'm always just polite and civil, always include her when planning stuff, but don't really make an effort. The family knows about it, but we just shrugged it to different personalities. Then the wedding planning started. Emma decided I could not be in the wedding party since I was not married in a church. Fine by me. Then she requested that immediate family submits their dress planning so she can check if it fits the wedding dress code. Fine, whatever. You see where this is going, I hope? You'll see I have not gone to confession or communion in more than a decade. If I go to a mass for whatever reason, I'm respectful and simply sit or stay standing during the rites I don't participate on. Well, this is not good enough for her, and she says I need to take communion during their wedding. I said no, and she's not taking it well. For the most part, I avoid her. As I said before, this time I wasn't going to say yes or risk an issue. I told her for taking communion one needs to go to confession, and I didn't want to. She said all immediate family is doing it, and it will look bad if I don't. I told her, sure, fine. Then I'll just go have communion in front of everybody, but won't do confession. She said if this was going to be my attitude, I was uninvited from the wedding because I clearly wanted to ruin the day for her.
What? Okay.
I turned to my brother and told him, thanks, gave him a thumbs up and went home. My family understands reasons that they respect everybody's choices, but I shouldn't have said what I said. I told them I really don't want to go to the wedding anymore, and I don't owe Emma explanation that I like. I only called my grandma because she heard what happened and asked me not to disrespect the church by doing the communion without confession. I promised I wouldn't do it, and she's fine with me now. I got a text from my brother wanting to compromise, so I replied by asking if the other lapsed people are being made to take a confession too. He said no, because it's only nuclear family members. I find it funny since all others are clearly older than her, and she just behaves like this with me and the youngsters. So, I
No. I feel like you were very respectful by saying, like, hey, I have no problem with you not wanting me to be a part of the wedding party. I have no problem with you wanting me to, like, fit the family theme of dress code. But, like, no one should be forcing someone to submit to religious activities like that.
Yeah.
No.
And
she's even respecting her family's wishes of, like, not taking communion without confession.
Yeah.
Which we just said we will too.
So sorry, everyone.
Weekly.
So before I get into an update, I will just read some of the comments that OP has left. So a commenter said, you should alert the priest to her behavior. He will ensure that she stops with her actions. She cannot make rules that do not exist in the church. I would send a quick email to him and let her deal with the consequences of her actions.
I feel like that's a lot.
OP responded, I actually considered it, but I don't think I will since my grandma might be doing it herself.
Oh, Jesus.
She is also lapsed herself and didn't want me to be disrespectful, but she knows the priest that will be officiating is not really happy with the shit show.
Wow.
So grandma's also lapsed. Grandma's not taking community.
That's interesting that grandma's lapsed, but then required, I don't know, whatever, continue.
Someone asked, why is Emma pushing this? And OP responds, I honestly believe it's more her trying to have authority over me than her religious views. My oldest brother finds it ridiculous, but said he would not intervene unless I asked him to, which I appreciate because despite Luke acting like a dipshit, I don't want more drama.
Which is Fair.
So, are we ready for that?
Yes, whenever you are.
All right. So, update the very next day after we post this. That things have moved, but I would not call any of this positive progress. I would like to clear something I kept seeing in the comments. I won't request a special blessing or go in the queue for communion. It isn't about the blessing or compromise, but the singling me out. Often just stay quiet or take a general family blessing if you go to weddings, etc. I have no issue with compromises. I have an issue with Emma and her ridiculousness. I don't know why she has this thing with me. I do look young, but not like a teen or a child, obviously. She has two younger sisters and is very authoritative with them. I've witnessed her being very my way or the highway with younger people, so she has issues for sure. The confrontation from the last post was on Tuesday, and today we had lunch at my grandma's. I think you should also know that my brothers have a tricky relationship, and they are not as close with each other as they are with their other siblings. My older brother Robert is very no nonsense, and he has never been a fan of Emma, but he didn't think he should have to intervene because Luke is an adult and capable of navigating relationships. All this is going to be relevant, I promise. We visit Grandma a lot since she lives by herself, and we truly enjoy her company. Today we are all there because she's over this drama already. After lunch, that was more like snacking, to be honest. She asked us all to clear the air. Emma continued with her rant about me being a disrespectful person and that she was asking the bare minimum from me. My grandma asked her why she had no issue with her not taking communion, and Emma said that she was her elder and for sure her reasons were more than a tantrum like it was in my case.
Even though she's older than you.
Correct.
Okay.
She also repeated that she was asking this of all the siblings, and I was the only one that was being put with her tiny request. This is where everything crumbled for her. I mentioned in the comments that Robert is also lapsed, and he was already exhausted by the situation. Robert told us better. Got it. He asked her why she had no issues with him not taking communion. She looked like a kid that was caught. She didn't have a proper answer. Robert then asked her if she even knew why he and Grandma became lapsed. She shook her head and looked at Luke for help. Luke, on the other hand, was staring angrily at Robert and but said nothing. Robert explained to Emma that he was the reason Grandma became lapsed. Robert was a teen who came out gay and was so worried about our grandparents' reaction since they were very active in the Catholic Church. Grandma felt awful about it, and even worse when she went and spoke with us about the then priest of her church. The priest was super old school and told her that Robert was committing sins and he was going to hell. He needed to find his way, the whole 9 yards. Yikes. Grandma didn't take that well and simply stopped going to church and started spending that time with her grandchildren. Over the years, she started getting into the whole community again, but she decided she was done taking the sacraments. She respects parts of the church, but can't fully reconcile it, which is fair. Emma was a bit confused since Robert is married to a woman, and he explained he is bisexual and ended up with a woman, just as he could have ended up with a man. He also commented that they are not married in the church, but that didn't matter to her like it mattered when it came to me. He asked her directly what her problem was with me. Long story short, she said I was rude since the beginning and kept treating Luke wrong. Oh, and I also was very snarky about looking younger than her. Crickets. She is a beautiful, successful woman, so I don't understand her obsession, but it seems like she wants people to see I respect her and what she says. I just started laughing. She started crying, she started crying and saying I turned my grandma against her. My grandma told her to stop blaming people for her being a negative person, and she was always going to side with me over her. Luke got upset and asked her why she was not supporting him, and she simply said she doesn't support him being a lapdog for a crazy woman. I love her. Insane. More said, nothing got truly resolved. I was kind of invited again, but declined going. Grandma's undecided if she even wants to go at all. My older siblings told Luke they would go to the ceremony if he sees couples therapy or at least therapy in general. My parents are having headaches and now dislike Emma so much they can't hide it. Oh, and yes, Grandma spoke with the priest and he wants them to do extra premarital counseling or he will not officiate. Woof. I hope they don't get married, but he's old enough to derail his life if he wants. I thank you for letting me vent, and my grandma loved the Pope joke. There is one more update. Do you have any comments after that?
I feel like she has a very supportive family, which is good because it could have gone very differently. So happy for her for that.
Isn't that nuts? I love that grandma's like, you're just a negative person.
And you're a freaking lapdog for a psycho bitch.
Don't be a lapdog for a crazy woman.
Yeah, that's insane. I love that.
Also, just don't get the whole like, well, you're my elder, so I can't tell you what to do. And it's like, well, that she's also your elder. It's like that's the rules are going by.
Yes.
This woman is also older than you.
Also, like the bride is the one that made all of the problems.
Correct.
She could have just like not said anything about it, and it would have been fine.
Yeah. Or like, I understand, like, if you're like too young to get or whatever, you can like, cross your arms over your chest. And
Yes.
walk up, and they'll just give you
And they'll still do that.
And I'm sure that's what they would have done for her, and I'm sure she would have been fine with that. But it sounds like it was either get confession and get communion or don't come. And that's like a crazy ultimatum.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so this is the last update, updated October 28th.
How much longer is that after?
It was the 26th.
Okay, so only a couple days.
2 days afterwards. 3 days from the original post.
Got it. Okay.
My brother has gone too far, and I decided to be done with him.
Oof.
He made our grandma cry, and I think permanently damaged a lot of his relationships. I want to mention some of my cousins and other family members thought I was just stubborn and creating drama, but now there's no longer my side or Emma's side. Maybe he always felt this way, but the issue he has with Robert is absolutely ridiculous. He was so upset with Grandma, with what Grandma said about him being Emma's lapdog.
Lie.
Crazy. That he called her to speak about it. I was obviously not present for the conversation, but Grandma told me what happened and confirmed it. He told her that it was unfair of me to ask Robert for help since he was her favorite grandchild and would get her to side with me no matter how wrong I was. He also told her that many of the cousins believed this and that it was so obvious that she even left her religion for him. He claimed the other LGBTQ plus members of the family, most were not even born when Robert came out, by the way, doubted if she would do it for them. So Grandma explained to Luke and then called every single one of her grandchildren to ask them how they felt and explained to each a part we didn't know. She said that when Robert came out, she spoke with the old priest and hinted about knowing places to set Robert quote straight. Grandma had heard horror stories from these places, and so had Robert, and they both spoke with my parents together about that not being an option at all. My parents never intended to send Robert there, and they're very casual Catholics, but Grandma wanted to cover all the bases just in case. I was told Grandma sounded like she was confused. I was told Grandma sounded like she had been crying on the phone, and after the first couple of calls, which were the oldest and the youngest of the group chat, started to blow, Robert was livid. Our LGBTQ plus what? Oh no, my tongue's getting in the way. Our LGBTQ plus cousins are livid and say that Luke lied. Even the cousins that are telling me to stop being stubborn are livid. Well, by the time I was up for my call, I was already on my way to Grandma's. Two of my cousins were already there, and the youngest one, Sarah, 16, was ready to literally fight Luke. For a bit of levity, Sarah's about 75 centimeters smaller than Luke, which is like over a foot. And the image of her swinging at him made me laugh a bit. She asked if I was making fun of her, and I just displayed a whole mental image of her trying to hit him. She admitted it was kind of funny. What I didn't tell her is that I would also love to slap some sense into Luke. My grandma has been through so much in her life, and this is not what we want for her. She has a puffy face and kept asking everybody if they truly felt unloved by her, saying she would do anything for any of us. Saying how Robert was the oldest grandchild, but that didn't mean she loved the rest any less. She's a strong woman. I think something inside her broke a little with the thought that she'd hurt her grandchildren. It was a shit show, a big one, and I was so done with Luke. My parents had been passive towards the situation so far because I'd asked them to, but after they heard what happened, they told him they need time away from him. Robert simply discussed it and decided not to speak with him anymore, which he communicated through the coming group chat, with Luke's response being that this is why Emma's help on reining all us would be so beneficial if we just let her. Wolf. Bitch. He also added how Robert never cared for him or anybody really, and he just tried to be the center of attention all the time. He cited his coming out, his announcement he was going to marry a woman, the birth of his child. It was all ridiculous. He came out when Luke was a toddler, and for many years only our parents and grandparents knew. He announced he was going to marry his now wife through a text, but didn't interfere or took anything from anybody. His child was born 4 months before Luke's graduation, and apparently that was a big issue for Luke that he never commented on before. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm as selfish like Emma claims. I call bullshit on this standpoint. Every single one of our cousins has been helped, babysat, tutored, gotten out of trouble, you name it, by Robert. He isn't perfect, but he isn't the conniving ass Luke is claiming. Maybe Luke has always felt inadequate and he didn't know this. Maybe it was his last ditch effort. Maybe Emma has manipulated him so far that he came back. It doesn't matter anymore. If he does marry Emma, I wish him the best. If he doesn't, I hope he goes to therapy. Regardless of what he decides, he burns so many bridges, hurt so many people, I don't see this resolving anytime soon. For now, I will focus on my grandma, making her feel better. I feel extremely guilty for Emma's situation with me that opened this can of worms. No, it shouldn't. It's hard not to.
Oh. That's a wild family story.
Yeah. Also, would you just let my wife rein you all in? When
yes.
Excuse you?
Your entire family?
I think what?
Sounds like you've chosen your family, and that's fine.
You can choose whoever you want to choose. Like, it is what it is. I think to some degree when you do get married, that is your chosen family. That is your family now. That is something you pick.
Right.
But there's also a line.
Correct. And no one's saying don't be with her. They're just saying they don't want to also choose her as their family too.
Yeah.
Which is sad because they were willing to be open until you let them be crazy.
But I hope the best for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to end what that one was. Maybe we'll do another update on this one. But it seems kind of wrapped up to me.
Yeah, I think so too.
Unless obviously like they don't have to do the wedding or they do whatever.
For sure.
Alright. One more story? This
One
one's
more.
a little bit shorter.
One more story.
This one is Best of Writer updates random blood in my bed. So this is posted on October 22nd, 2024. So it starts by saying, let me just start by saying that I'm a man, and so I don't get a period. Okay. I've been living on my own in Amsterdam for a while now. It's a nice little room in the attic. It's old, nice, and feels very cozy. I don't live in a dorm, but I live with a way older lady who has 2 cats. I'm allergic myself, so when the cats come this way, I chase them out the door. Now I have a problem. A few days ago, I woke up with clothes on, my closet turned over, and clothes on the floor. Shit. Sleepwalking can't happen. Now things are getting a little weird. On the entire left side of my double bed, from head to toe, there's a long trail of blood, as if something bloody has been running over it. This can't be the cats, because they don't come into my room at night, and it also seems unlikely to me that an injured animal has been walking there, because if something bleeds that much, it should be visible somewhere else in the room, right?
Yeah.
It also seemed unlikely to me that I myself bled a vertical trail in my sleep, but I don't think anything else of it. I cleaned it up, and that was that. But this morning, a few days later, I wake up, blood everywhere again on that side of the bed. And with blood everywhere, I really need a trail you can't miss and a smell. I woke up because of the smell and not even my alarm clock at 6:30. I went to ask the housewife what she thinks this could be. She smiled for a moment and said, maybe your room is haunted. Ugh. Well, I didn't make it better. I'm now sitting in the bathroom scrubbing that shit again, trying not to throw up. I don't know what's going on here. But could this be a weird hazing problem? And by that I mean student hazing. Is this a normal thing they do in Amsterdam? Spill blood on your bed?
Don't you hate that?
I hate that. I'm just saying, I'm from Brussels. I know there are weirder things happening here. I don't get it at all, especially because I've scanned my whole body, and there seems to be no wounds anywhere. Has anyone experienced something similar? Is my room generally possessed? Sorry if this is a stupid question, but I'm kind of done with it. So, that's the first bit.
Okay.
So, that's where we're all kind of at.
That's all there is?
No, there's more. There's an update. There's a few updates later. Someone asked, you specifically mentioned the first time that you woke up with clothes on, different clothes that you had fallen asleep with, or were there other weird things, or just the blood? It was different clothes. Like they woke up in different clothes.
So is he getting drugged or something?
said it was different clothes. When I go to sleep, I sleep in pajamas. And I woke up with my sweater and jeans on. I've never slept walked before, and this morning only blood.
That's odd. Is that it?
There's nothing.
Okay.
This one is completed. We'll
Okay.
figure out where the blood comes from.
Perfect. Thank you. Because I'm confused.
I'm like, sneaking in there.
That's what I'm like, is someone sneaking into your room and like leaving blood or something?
Bleeding on you?
Ew.
Not really on you, just on your mattress.
I guess so. Or like, is the cat in there dragging an animal or something?
You know? But a lot of commenters were like, hey, you need to go to the doctor. Like,
yes.
I think you need to go to the doctor. Someone else talked about like carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh.
Could also have some similar symptoms. I mean, like, you need to go get tested, you need to get a carbon monoxide poison alarm, all these sorts of things. So, update a few days later. I'll have to sneeze. All right,
Bless you.
For the past few days, I've been staying at my friend's house, see if it's mysteriously bleeding there too. I ordered a camera and nothing happened until yesterday morning. I went back home, went to the doctor on the way because I suffer from quote unquote hay fever.
Okay.
And once home, just checked the cats for being in heat. Turns out they're both male, so that's not the issue.
Got it.
I set up the camera in the can, thinking thanks to whoever advised that, and went into the space behind my room with a CO detector to measure it. The second I got in there, I smelled a very familiar smell, exactly the smell that vaguely smelled like blood. Now that I know what it is, I would associate it more with meat. The smell of blood came very close. Anyways, grabbed the CO2 detector, shirt in front of my nose, and put that thing to work. Nothing wrong. Anyways, I called my friend because the smell was very specific. She was there within an hour, and she too thought it smelled very strangely like blood. It's a large attic which smells of blood and rotted flesh. And there are things everywhere in the dark, so of course my imagination ran wild. My girlfriend also started to get the jitters, and after an hour of pondering, we finally decided to call the police.
Is there a dead body above him?
Well, they showed up on my doorstep after 4 hours, and together went upstairs. The police also smelled the odor, and it was so convincing that some special agents were called before they would go up to the attic.
What?
A very long story short, after a long wait and search, they didn't find the body, but they did find mold. All over the wall against my room, under the baseboards, in the roof, black mold everywhere. Immediately relieved that my landlord wasn't a murderer, but black mold isn't as fun either. In the meantime, I've got moved all my stuff and temporarily living with my girlfriend until the problem is solved. Even then, I don't know if I'll go back because the landlord wasn't very happy that I kind of suspected her of murder. But that's another story. It's funny because the doctor said when I came in with my hay fever, it's remarkable that you're suffering from it now. He was right. The itchy eyes, the nosebleed in my sleep. Yes, about to be just a nosebleed while I was sleeping.
Vertically?
The sleepwalking, the tired days, everything in place and the story. All because he's getting mold poisoning.
Oh.
Sleepwalking is part of that. Nosebleeds is part of that. Headaches is part of that. Nausea is part of that.
Oh. Crazy.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
No. That's terrifying.
Also, yeah, I bet you your landlord's like, fuck you, dude.
Fuck you, and now I have to pay to get all this fixed.
Now I have to get all the black mold out of my house. But also, and you thought I murdered someone.
Yeah, screw you.
Oh, yeah. So 2 quick little Reddit stories there for you. If you guys like what you hear, go ahead and either send more Reddit stories our way. You can do that on any of our socials at @IDon'tThinkSo_complete. Or if you got like different themes and things like that you want us to explore for next month, let us know. Hannah will be Reddit storing us up next week.
Absolutely. And if you have any suggestions of specific stories, definitely let us know too.
But we will see you all next week.
Bye.